Now we think Buddha died, and we think Jesus has left the world, has died. But it is not true. Jesus as well as Buddha are still living. They are just living in a different place. Yeah. And they also evolved with the time and with their job and with their ever learning. We can never learn enough. Do not think that after we become Buddha or Christ-like, we stop learning. No, then it becomes like dead end. The road to wisdom is endless. Yes. So you remember in the Bible, Jesus says something very strange. He said, whatever miracle, whatever great things I can do today, you can do them even better tomorrow. Now, may I add something? Just for example, at the time you met your teacher, or what we call initiation process, you just have a little taste of heaven, of the power within yourself. So you might praise Jesus or your teacher very much and say, oh, that was a wonderful experience. What did you did to me? That was incredible. So Jesus will humbly say, no, that's nothing. You will do even greater. What he meant, maybe you develop more. You will know even more than just what you know today. Yeah, that's one of the possibility of that time. I think there is another possibility and another meaning of what he said, is that he, at that time, wasn't that much developed, as much as he could have developed. Maybe if Jesus come back now, he's greater than when he was then. That was also one of the suggestions. Also, secondly, maybe at that time, his power, even though still very great, was difficult to diffuse, to give, difficult to offer to people, because at that time, our human minds are also underdeveloped as well. We were not as civilized, not as intelligent as we are now. So even the greater Jesus couldn't do much. It's just like when you are a very excellent MD or engineer or whatever, and you go to Africa with all your PhD and knowledge, what can you do in the jungle? You can only apply some herbal medicine, wash patients with soap, and that's all you can do. And if the patients get relieved and they praise you and you say, oh no, that's nothing, that's nothing. It's true, it is nothing for what the doctors can do in a normal condition, in a good hospital where he is surrounded with all kind of equipment and colleagues who helps him in his job. Also, when Jesus came to earth, it was 2,000 years ago. And as the 2,000 years gone by, he must have learned much more. So now if those who are in the future, who came after Jesus, in a better environment, in a more modernized civilization, of course they can do greater wonder. Yeah? Yes. So if we look in the Bible, Jesus did not have the chance to say much at all. What he say, I'm sorry, even though it was so great, but it wasn't that great. Understand what I mean? I don't mean Jesus wasn't great. Was that he didn't have chance to say much. Also the people at that time, their understanding wasn't that great. Not great enough to match Jesus' wisdom. So he had to tell them in a parables, kind of stories, and have to use some kind of healing power, all these kind of things to awaken people. Also tell them in very simple, straightforward terms. Also only tell them to keep commandments and believe in God, pray to God, etc. Only some of his chosen few disciples were selected to be the messenger of his message. The rest, he just cured them of their sickness, uplift them a little bit in a mental way, invisible way, or comfort them, or remind them of the commandment and remind them of God. Therefore, those who came after Jesus having the same capacity as he, reaching the same level of enlightenment, could do much more than he does, could speak more and in a more logical way, in a more intelligent way, in a more scientific way, in order to suit the modern society. So it is not very advantageous to us to cling to the image of our old-time Jesus or Buddha. We have to advance, and what we learn today, it must not be always what the people learned in the past.